In the following video, a lady is casually filming her drunk roommate, but then something unexpected happens. Take a look.
What? 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 What are you doing? Did you not hear that? No. Are you sure? Singy.
At first, it all seems like her roommate is just being dramatic, but when they go back to rewatch the footage, she realizes she may have had a reason to panic. If you watch closely, the dog is acting strange too, almost like it senses something, or someone say that we can't see. Now, this is where things start to get pretty creepy. The clip quickly sparked debate online. One of the main theories, the large mirror facing the bed. Viewers claim that placing a mirror opposite your bed can act as a spiritual portal, inviting in unwanted guests or giving certain entities a clear view of you while you sleep. And suddenly, her roommate's reaction doesn't seem so funny anymore. So, was it a reflection glitch or something far more unsettling? Whatever this was, it still startles them to this day. There's something undeniably eerie about little kids interacting with things we can't see, especially when there's history behind it. In this next clip, Daisy shares a moment involving her daughter that she just couldn't ignore. She laughs at empty corners, plays games that seem to involve someone else, and stares out the window for far too long, as if waiting for someone. At first, Daisy thought it was all part of growing up, until one morning, her daughter did something she couldn't explain, and that's when she decided to record. But before we show you the clip, there's some backstory you need to know. When Daisy first moved into the neighborhood, she became very close to a sweet elderly woman next door, affectionately called Granny by everyone. Granny was especially thrilled to learn that Daisy's due date was on her own birthday, and when the baby arrived, it was like they were meant to meet. Granny absolutely adored her, and the two of them formed a quiet, beautiful bond. One of those rare connections that doesn't need words to be felt. They had tons of beautiful moments together, and the baby always looked forward to visiting. Sadly, Granny passed away at the age of 101. A year later, Daisy bought Granny's old house, and that's when these strange behaviors started. One day, while pulling out of the driveway, this happens. Watch.
¿Dónde? ¿Qué estás viendo? ¿Qué estás viendo, mamá? ¿Dónde? ¿Dónde? ¿Qué? Are you playing peekaboo? ¿Qué estás viendo, mamá? ¿Qué? ¿Qué? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Dónde?
Daisy's daughter is caught talking and laughing with someone or something no one can see. Then she starts to play games. Games Daisy instantly recognized as the same ones Granny used to play with her. And strangely, this all seems to happen around the same places Granny once loved. One detail Daisy mentioned that really stuck with people is Granny's roses. Granny planted them in the backyard years ago, and now every single morning, Daisy's little girl waters them, like it's part of a shared ritual between them. And while she does it, she's laughing and talking like there's someone there with her. A lot of people are convinced the little girl still sees Granny, and they might be right, but like other videos, I'll let you decide. Now, in this next video, Amber is trying to get rid of a ghost she believes is in her house by literally locking it out. But while she's at it, this happens. Have a look.
We're gonna be really quiet. I'm about to shit my pants. Stop. Oh my god, that footsteps go down the attic stairs. Wait, I can lock it from the outside, right? Right? I can lock it.
Amber moved into this house fully aware that the previous tenants had lost their mother inside it, and according to them, her spirit never truly left. It's been years now, and while Amber admits the spirit does mess with her from time to time, she's convinced it's friendly. She even has cameras set up all over the house, not for security, but to monitor the ghost movements. One night, she's sitting down to watch a scary movie, and just as things get intense, this happens.
Dan. Oh. Dan, leave me. It's okay. It's okay.
The lights went off, then came back on, as if something was messing with her right in the middle of the movie. Still, she insists she's living with a nice ghost, and to prove that, she posted this next clip. Watch.
Really? Yeah.
Let me explain what happened here. Amber had a job interview the next day and couldn't find the envelope that held her important documents. After hours of searching, she found it, and to be extra safe, she placed it somewhere she knew she wouldn't forget. But apparently, the ghost didn't trust her memory. Amber says the ghost deliberately knocked the envelope out as a reminder for her to put it straight in her purse. Now, some people wondered why her dogs didn't react, but Amber says they're just as used to the ghost as she is. And honestly, that might be true. Animals tend to react to unfamiliar energy, but if this presence has always been part of the household, it might feel completely normal to them by now. To Amber, this isn't haunting, and she's totally content living with the spirit, but still, just how long will this so-called peaceful coexistence last? For now, no one can say. In the following video, Jenna is in the middle of vlogging her morning routine when she suddenly hears her daughter yelling at someone and walks in, clearly upset. Watch this.
The clock is not getting down.
What?
She's not getting down.
Who, honey?
Clock is not getting down.
What's her name?
Clock is not
Cologne?
getting down. Yeah, she's not getting down.
Where is she, honey? Where is she?
She's in the living room. She's not getting off the chair.
Okay. What would you like me to do about this?
She needs to get off the chair because she's gonna fall on her head.
Okay. How does she look?
Looks like she has makeup on herself.
Okay.
She's not listening to my words.
Okay, go tell her to get down, and then see if she gets down. Okay?
T. Come on, you can get down. Okay. Good job. Thank you. She got down.
Are you playing with her?
Oh yes, I'm in there. She was just there on the chair because I liked her to get off, so but she's on.
Okay.
Turns out, her daughter is upset because her friend in the living room, which was completely empty, isn't listening to her. But what really caught people off guard was the name the little girl used. Several viewers quickly pointed out that the name closely resembled Kalanarang, a legendary figure from Javanese and Balinese folklore, known as a powerful witch who practiced black magic in the 11th century. She's often described as always being on full makeup, something the little girl also mentioned. And suddenly, what seemed like an innocent imaginary friend started to feel a lot darker. But Jenna isn't buying it. She believes it's just a harmless imaginary friend. So to prove her point, she recorded a conversation with her daughter, asking her more about this mysterious friend. Have a look.
Cologne gave me a hug.
She did?
Yeah, because she's so nice.
Oh, how old is she?
5.
She's 5. What color of hair does she have?
I don't know. Maybe a yellow hair?
Yellow hair?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Cologne nice or is she mean?
Nice.
She's nice to you?
Yeah.
That's good. What does she wear? What kind of clothes does she wear?
She wears my clothes.
She wears your clothes.
She does. She really wants my clothes because she wanted to wear them.
Oh.
Cologne, are you okay back there? You want me to come with you?
She in the back seat?
Yeah. She wants me to come with her.
Well, you can't. You have to be in your car seat
Why?
because you're 3. Why is Cologne in my car?
Because she wants to.
Okay. Does she follow you everywhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mom,
Mm-hmm.
maybe me and Cologne can go on a walk tomorrow.
Maybe.
While some viewers found the interaction harmless, even adorable, others couldn't shake the feeling that this was more than just a child's imagination. One viewer even shared a terrifying personal story. She wrote, "Just always keep an eye on her. My daughter fell from a bunk bed, and later that day she told me her friend told her to get up, then pushed her." Comments like this, combined with the idea that something invisible is constantly around a child, made viewers seriously concerned. Because when kids have friends that no one else can see, it rarely ends well. Jenna still isn't convinced, but we can only hope she's right, and that she and her little girl stay safe. This next clip comes from Felix, a man living in Castle Pines, Colorado. But his story isn't about one haunted house, it's about many. For reasons even he can't explain, Felix and his family have been forced to move constantly. They never last more than 3 months in one place, because the strange activity always finds them. Whether it's twisted figures with long tentacle-like limbs watching them from dark corners, or the sudden overwhelming stench of sulfur with no source in sight, something is clearly not right. And with each move, the encounters get worse. One evening, Felix is home alone when he hears loud, persistent banging coming from the basement. He grabs his phone to record, walks over to investigate, and this is what he sees. Watch.
JC, this is what I have to deal with. Here we go. Hello?
If you look closely, you'll see a strange figure passing by, but things only get terrifying when he goes to the basement to investigate the noise. If you listen closely, there's the sound of a woman sobbing. Now here's where it gets disturbing. Many believe this is no ordinary spirit, that if you hear a woman crying, or see a child alone, It's often a demon using a familiar voice to lure you closer. Felix doesn't know for sure if he's dealing with a ghost or something far more dangerous. But what do you think? Is his constant moving just a string of bad luck, or is something paranormal following him from house to house? In the following video, Marcus Belton was driving home through Ravens Hollow, Maine, exhausted after a long shift and just wanting to crawl into bed. But as he entered his street, his headlights lit up his driveway and he saw something that took him off guard.
Okay, so I just got home from work and there should be nobody at my house right now. I mean, it should be completely empty. But I just pulled up and what is that? Is that a person? What the fuck is that? There should be nobody in the house. Nobody at all. Okay, well. Guess I'll check it out. Okay.
Someone in a dark hoodie was standing really still and silent by his door, almost like they had been waiting for him the whole time. This was strange because Marcus lived alone, wasn't expecting anyone, and nobody had a spare key, so whoever that was, they definitely weren't supposed to be there. He stepped out of the car and hurried toward the house, but by the time he reached the door, the figure had vanished. Just like that, no sound, no running, no one walking away, like the person disappeared into thin air. Marcus looked around, checked for prints or any sign someone had actually been there, but he didn't find a single trace. He tried to make sense of it, but the only explanation that stuck was the one he didn't want to believe. A paranormal entity had been there. This video was recorded at a primary school in Ohio where students and teachers often joke about a ghost said to haunt room 3B. You'll hear things like, "Say hi when you walk past room 3B, he likes it." Everyone knew who he was supposed to be, the ghost of a little boy who died long ago and, according to legend, never really left. Most people laughed it off as a harmless story, but that all changed one night when a janitor heard light giggling echoing through the empty hallway. That moment stirred curiosity among some of the teachers, and one Friday evening, they decided to stay late and check the school's security footage from the hallway outside room 3B. They watched in silence, expecting nothing, but then something happened.
Никого не встречаем.
Нормально.
Вот он пошел.
Я к нему как-то уже это, лояльно.
Ну так спокойно.
И что на одном месте?
Мы все здороваемся с ним теперь.
Да, я ему говорю, привет.
Видишь ребенок?
Видишь, как ребенок.
Когда выходит на черное, его сильно вообще видно. Снимает. Иди сюда, мы же его...
Не верю.
Мы забыли вывести, это можно
Вот,
уже на большой экран вывести.
Смотри на большом экране.
Смотри.
Вот ходит, сейчас спустится. Вон он идет, видишь?
Видишь? Вот здесь вообще как ребенок, смотри, да?
Капец, вообще, ты видишь? Ну, конечно, вот и в телефоне вот
Да.
он тоже.
И в
вот он
актовом
написан.
зале их там 3 штуки играют.
О, ничего
вечером.
себе.
Но они летают.
Они
Здравствуйте.
летают, как бы
Они там
играют.
не ходят, они
А
летают.
вон сейчас уже на
А
стенке,
я подошла
на
туда к
стенке.
лестнице. К лестнице. Это включила, ничего не снимает телефон там.
At first, it was faint, like a shadow that shouldn't have been there, but as they leaned closer, it looked like a little kid. It started moving, and within seconds, it was gone. Most would have dismissed it if it wasn't caught on camera, but this time, the evidence was undeniable. The footage was later submitted to the school board and eventually shared with a local paranormal investigator. For now, room 3B remains locked after hours, not because of fear, but because they're waiting to see if it happens again. And if it does, the next step might not just be investigation, it could be a full-on cleansing. Devin Hale is a 34-year-old architect living alone in a quiet neighborhood just outside Portland, Oregon. One evening, while relaxing and watching TV like usual, he suddenly heard a loud crash from the kitchen, like a whole stack of plates hitting the floor. He jumped up, ran to check, and that's when things got real. Watch this.
Excuse me. Are you back there again? This has become its favorite spot. Now, and there he is. Okay, that's enough water, please. Okay. Everyone can see you in their reflection, bud. Everyone can see you in their reflection. And it's gone. Okay. I know he's not in here, but I just want anyone who's watching to see. This is too small, but just like it's not. I just wanted you to see. The cabinets are knocking again. I'm leaving. Out. That's enough for today.
He stood there trying to convince himself he had imagined it, because that's what we all do, right? But then the kitchen tap turned on, and no, it wasn't one of those motion sensor types. His tap needed to be turned manually. Still confused, but trying to stay calm, he walked over and turned it off, thinking the problem was solved, but as soon as he stepped back, the tap turned on again. The fact that he had to turn it off himself meant something else must have physically turned it on, and that something was certainly not human. He decided to check the laundry room next door, but as he approached, he saw a dark shadow shaped like a person. He ran into the laundry room, which was completely empty, but he was absolutely sure someone or something was watching him. Ever since that night, the tap in Devin's kitchen has developed a creepy habit. Every single night at exactly 8:13 p.m., it turns itself on. Devin has tried plumbing repairs and even got a new faucet, but nothing changed. At this point, there's no other way to explain it. This was definitely a ghost. He sent the footage to a group of investigators, and based on the behavior and strength of the entity's presence, they concluded it was a demon. I hope he receives all the help he needs. I hate seeing kind and normal people pulled into the world of the paranormal, especially when all they wanted was a sense of peace or closure. Eric and Naomi Dalton live in a quiet neighborhood in Flagstaff, Arizona, and had been missing Eric's late father more than usual lately. One afternoon, in a lighthearted moment, they joked about asking for a sign, one of those, "if you're out there, give us a hint," moments you never expect to actually work, but what followed made them wonder if someone had truly been listening. Around 12:40 p.m., they were checking on their dog through their indoor camera when they noticed something unusual. See for yourself what the camera picked up. Before you dismiss it as faulty wiring, Eric explained their bedroom faces the bathroom and there's no shared lighting between the rooms. Plus, their blackout curtains are thick and pulled all the way down, so no light should be coming through at all. At first, the faint glow might look like a trick of the eye or a smudge on the camera lens, but then the light begins to move, slowly and deliberately, like someone waving a dim torch back and forth. But this wasn't the first strange thing to happen in their home, but it was the first time it happened in daylight, and Eric said it felt different and stronger this time, like someone or something was truly listening. They've since saged the house, kept a nightlight on in the hallway, and tried to pretend things are back to normal. Hopefully it stays that way. Camille Moreau is a single mom living in Lyon, France, and not long ago, she moved into what she thought was her dream apartment. But it didn't take long before that dream started to feel like a nightmare she couldn't wake up from. One night, just as she was about to fall asleep, she heard a loud bang from somewhere inside the apartment and walked toward the bathroom. She wasn't prepared for what happened next. The toilet seat moved all by itself, and Camille ran into the next room to catch her breath. But before she could even process what she saw, a picture frame that had been sitting perfectly still for weeks fell flat on its face. Things escalated quickly, and before she could move, the door slammed shut, the lights began to flicker, random objects rolled across the floor. Then a slow, eerie melody started playing from somewhere inside the walls, like the building itself was singing. Scared for her kids, Camille did what any good mother would do. She sent her kids to live with their father, but she's still stuck there because all her savings went into that apartment, and now she's asking for help. She has reached out for help and is hoping a paranormal expert can step in and bring some peace back into her life. We wish Camille the best in banishing this spirit once and for all. Some videos are not about what was seen, but more about what was heard, and trust me, it's the kind of sound that stays with you long after the video ends. A family in Pennsylvania decided to check their doorbell camera after the motion detector went off around 3:17 a.m., and when they looked, there was no person outside, no package was dropped off, it was just light. Watch closely and listen carefully to what they found. Small, glowing shapes floating and swirling like they had a mind of their own. But what really gives you chills isn't the light, it's the sound. The faint, scratchy voice loops repeatedly, saying, "Can you tell me how to get?" And that's it. The question never finishes. It just repeats, over and over. Like someone stuck in time, trying to ask something they never get to say. Some believe it's a lost spirit asking for directions in the only way it knows how. Others think it's simply residual energy trapped in a loop. But with no one there, no interference, and no technical faults to explain what was captured, this was certainly a ghost. A security supervisor at a museum in California worked there for 3 years, and from day one, people warned him the elevator was haunted, but he dismissed it as just another strange workplace story. Over time, the weird stories kept coming, and during one of his night shifts, at exactly 3:40 a.m., he witnessed something he couldn't explain. Watch what the camera caught that night. The inside light of the elevator by right suddenly turned on, and it stayed on for nearly an hour and a half, until 5 a.m. The next day, they ran a full diagnostic on the elevator, electrical tests, door sensors, motion detectors, but there were no malfunctions, no power surges, absolutely nothing to explain what happened. But let's be real, elevators don't activate themselves for over an hour without cause, and if no one was inside, then something else was. Whether it was the restless ghost people whispered about, or a more powerful entity tied to the building, one thing's clear, this wasn't a glitch. It was paranormal. Shortly after, they brought in a priest to bless the building, and the elevator specifically. They even closed off the elevator for 2 weeks. We hope this will be the end of the paranormal activity. Jane and her partner recently booked a night at a hotel they've heard several stories about, like doors opening and closing on their own, and guests checking out early with pale faces and nervous laughter. But instead of getting scared, they got curious. They didn't just want stories, they wanted proof, and that's exactly what their camera caught.
It's okay. I can see you. Come to me. Are you a little boy? It's okay. Come here. It's okay. I don't know if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but it looks like it's going like back and forth. You see a movie?
What?
It's okay.
No, wait.
It's
Come
okay.
back. Come back.
Where?
No, you come back. Go straight. Look straight. Towards me. No. Turn towards me like you were earlier. Put your back towards me.
With no footsteps and no sound at all, the shadow was still, till it started moving. Instead of freaking out, Jane leaned forward, but her partner was clearly feeling nervous, so he told her to step back, and that's when a shadow moved across the room. It looked like the shadow of a child, and was fast like something alive and playful. The couple barely slept that night, and when the sun came up, they packed their bags and checked out without looking back. After reviewing the footage back home, Jane and her partner decided to send it to a local paranormal investigator who had studied that hotel for years. What he told them confirmed what they already felt in their gut. The shadow wasn't a trick of the light. In fact, similar sightings had been reported before, all pointing to the same room, the same childlike figure. The expert believes the spirit might still be searching for her family, for peace, or simply for someone to notice. One thing's for sure, now that she's been seen again, the activity may only grow stronger. Kelsey Davis always thought being a mom meant dealing with tantrums, toys scattered across the floor, and the occasional sleepless night, but never in her wildest dreams did she imagine that bedtime would become the most terrifying part of her day. It started when her young son began having full conversations with no one there, pausing like he was listening to someone speak back. She brushed it off at first as just an imaginary friend, but something about the way he responded didn't sit right with her. One night, she decided to record him.
Good night.
Who are you saying goodnight to?
Him. Good night.
Who?
Him. Good night.
Jagger, there's no one up there.
Him up there.
Show me.
Him up there. Him up there.
Jagger, there's no one up there. He's been talking to that vent and then he was blowing it kisses. And I'm creeped out now. Like, seriously, I'm not joking. I'm so creeped out right now.
Her son stood in his room, looked toward the ceiling, and calmly said goodnight to an empty corner. Kelsey didn't see anything unusual, but the room didn't feel right, so she shared the footage with a group of ghost hunters to see if they could make sense of it. For now, the situation remains unresolved, and while the activity hasn't stopped, she's hoping the team steps in soon to help figure out what is sharing the room with her son. Jake never believed in ghosts, not as a kid, not as a teen, and not even after his uncle passed away, leaving behind his old garage where he spent most of his time fixing things. The space had been untouched for years, his tools still on the bench, his jacket still on the hook, like he'd be back any minute. Then one night, something strange happened. While Jake was scrolling through his phone, he heard the door slowly open on its own, and while he brushed it off at first, the light inside turned on by itself. But the switch was an old manual one, so it made no sense that it would come on by itself. He checked the footage again and again, searching for some explanation, convinced he'd missed something, but the video showed no movement until he turned the volume up and heard uneven footsteps coming from inside the garage. This only convinced him the situation was far from ordinary, and that sometimes the dead don't rest quietly, they just keep doing what they always did, waiting for someone to notice. This next clip comes from a creator named Chai, someone known for her hilarious takes on everyday life, relatable skits, and the kind of content that makes you laugh even on the toughest days. But recently, she posted something that felt completely different, something personal, unsettling, and impossible to explain.
Okay, who is it?
Daddy. Daddy's right there.
Is it your daddy?
No, it's your daddy.
Is where?
Daddy's right there.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, show me.
See?
Oh.
Your daddy's missing you.
My daddy's missing me?
That's your dad.
Let's go get him. Where'd he go?
In you.
Okay, show me.
Chai's 2-year-old daughter stands quietly in the hallway, calmly repeating the words, "Dad, is missing you. What makes this feel truly strange is that Chai's father passed away in 2002. Her daughter had never heard stories about him, never seen a photo, and yet she spoke as if she'd known him all her life. Now, Chai finds herself caught between believing this was just a coincidence or something else entirely, something trying to lure her into that room. She hasn't stepped inside for months, and it's hard to blame her because anyone in her position would be left wondering what might happen if they walked into that room. Few days into the new year, Alex, who worked in an ancient building, got stuck working a late shift alone. When he was about to leave and locking up, something terrifying happened. Have a look.
What was that? Caleb? Yeah? Did you hear that?
He heard a voice that was like someone calling out for help. Alex knew he was the only one left in the building. He still turned to look, more out of instinct than reason, but the hallway was empty. The next day, unsure of what to make of it, he decided to look into the building's history, just to see if there was anything that might explain what he'd heard. But what he found was far more disturbing than he could have imagined. Years ago, a janitor had been working that same hallway when a maintenance door came loose and fell, trapping him behind it. And though he called out again and again, his voice echoing through the corridors, no one heard him in time. After learning that, Alex was convinced the voice he heard wasn't just in his head, it was the echo of a spirit still waiting to be heard. Since then, he's made sure he's never the last one to leave. Cameras don't lie, they catch what we miss. Moments we're too distracted to notice, and sometimes signs that something paranormal might still be out there. Melissa, a single mom living in Asheville, North Carolina, had been noticing something strange outside her home for months. Like someone walking past at odd hours, always just out of view. Hoping to ease her mind, she installed a small security camera above the front door, just to see if anything was really there. One evening, after returning home from dinner with her daughter Ava, they got a notification that the camera had picked up a strange movement, and what they saw caught them completely off guard.
Oh shit, Jose. Here he is.
A man was walking slowly along the sidewalk in front of their house, but just as he reached a certain spot, he vanished. They rushed outside, hoping to find footprints or some sign of where he'd gone, but there was nothing, not even a single sign that anyone had been there at all. When they shared what happened with their neighbors, they learned they weren't the only ones who'd seen something strange. One neighbor even mentioned that the exact spot where the man disappeared used to be an old bus stop, and that back in 1989, a terrible accident had taken place there. Melissa didn't need convincing anymore. She already knew what this was, and that night she lit a candle and placed it on the windowsill, and from that moment on, they never saw the man again. This was definitely a paranormal activity, and whatever was lurking around their street just needed help getting home. Derek is the kind of man who appreciates quiet moments like when the kids have gone to bed and the only sounds left are the soft breathing of his wife beside him. But one night, after finishing an episode of American Dad and switching off the television, he heard something. Watch this moment and listen closely. A dragging noise, like something heavy had been pulled across the floor, came from the dining room, but their dining set was the kind that doesn't move unless someone makes it move. So Derek was trying to understand how something so heavy could have shifted so loudly without a single person out of bed. He didn't check right away because the noise reminded him of something that had happened years ago, when every cabinet in the kitchen slammed shut at the same time in the middle of the night. He and his wife rushed into the kitchen expecting a mess, but everything was in place. No broken plates, no open doors, just silence. Within a few days, Derek reached out to a small paranormal team that had investigated homes in the area before, and after visiting the house, they confirmed what he feared most. The activity wasn't random, it was deliberate, and whatever it wasn't just passing through, it was claiming space. I hope things get better after this intervention, but with how active the house has been, Derek's not so sure. For now, all he can do is wait and hope the next sound isn't closer than the last. The following video is about a man named Tyler who had always imagined that moving off-grid would bring peace. The kind of peace that comes from stepping away from city noise, endless traffic, crowded neighbors, and all the clutter and chaos of modern life. For a while, it did. His home sat alone on a hilltop, surrounded by trees, with no neighbors for miles. But one night, at 3:18 a.m., Tyler's phone buzzed with a single ring notification from the camera pointed toward the tree line, and although he didn't check it right away, convincing himself it was probably nothing, the next morning he opened the app, and this is what he saw. A figure moved across the edge of the frame, dressed in white, gliding forward with a strange, rigid stillness, its clothes untouched by the wind, its steps too smooth, too controlled, like it wasn't walking at all, but floating, unaware or maybe uninterested, that a camera was watching, and just as it appeared, it vanished into the trees. Tyler rushed outside, checking every inch of the fence line for footprints or broken branches, or any sign that someone had been there, but there was nothing. No trail, no marks. And ever since that night, he hasn't slept quite the same. I guess living off-grid keeps people out, but it doesn't promise you'll be alone. It just strips away the noise, the distractions, the excuses, and leaves you alone with what's really there. Some fears don't need a reason. They live quietly in the backs of our minds, and for Jordan, basements had always stirred something he couldn't explain, a quiet unease that never really left no matter how often he tried to dismiss it. So when his grandparents invited him to visit their old farmhouse tucked deep in the back roads of Ohio and offered him the basement guest room, he smiled and agreed, even though something in him said no. The first night felt normal, until just after 2 a.m., when a strange vibration rolled through the floor, followed by a sound he couldn't place. He sat up, reached for his phone, and started recording to be sure he wasn't making it up. The sound was like a broken trumpet, and it was too close to ignore. The next morning, he uploaded the clip, hoping for answers, but instead, people pointed out something he hadn't noticed at all. In the background, just behind the basement window, was a pale face that was watching. Jordan never got a clear answer about what he saw that night, but ever since, he keeps the basement light on, just in case. But this might not be the solution, because some fears don't go away, especially once they finally have a face. The following video was captured by Callie Payne after weeks of experiencing unexplainable events in her apartment. One night, she heard scratching, like fingernails dragging across the walls from inside. Another day, it's the sound of someone pacing on her balcony, even when it's empty. But on this particular morning, shortly after finishing breakfast, she caught this on camera.
Oh my god.
Now, this wasn't the first time her front door had opened and slammed itself shut. In fact, after the first incident, she called an artisan to inspect the hinges, the alignment, even the air vents. Nothing was wrong, and there was no logical reason for the way that door moved. With everything else that's been happening, like footsteps, cold drafts in sealed rooms, flickering hallway lights that seem to respond to movement, there's only one explanation that makes sense. There's a spirit in that apartment. She's planning to sage the entire place, and we can only hope it's enough to send the spirit back to where it came from. This next clip was recorded by an adventurous woman named Amber Nicole, who isn't new to paranormal activities, so she didn't think twice before signing the lease on her new apartment, even after learning what happened there. The previous tenants had lost their mother in that very house, and according to them, her spirit never really left. Every night, at the exact time she passed, strange sounds echoed through the home, soft moaning, then tapping, sometimes a sharp knock. Objects would shift slightly, drawers would click open on their own, but they couldn't take it, so they left. This information didn't bother Amber, so she picked the place anyway, and for the first week, the only thing she had to deal with was the noises. Her best bet was headphones, so she simply wore headphones when they began, but after a few days, other activities started. One afternoon while she was trying to prepare lunch, this happened. Amber believes the spirit of the mother still has strong opinions, especially about how she runs the house. She's convinced that the ghost hates when she leaves the refrigerator door open, and it's not just that. If she places items in the wrong spot, like putting the sugar jar on the wrong counter or misplacing the kitchen towels, before she even turns back around, they're back where the ghost seems to want them. To Amber, this isn't haunting. It's a housemate with very firm rules. And as far as she's concerned, they found a rhythm, and she's content living with the spirit, and honestly, we just hope it stays this way. You ever get that feeling that a house picked you instead of the other way around? That's how Kyle Anthony described it after moving into his new place. It looked normal enough, but something about it just didn't sit right. He'd hear knocking sounds from nowhere and faint voices always at night, but the house was old, so he concluded it was the structure settling, until one day, curiosity got the better of him. He realized he'd never actually checked the attic, so he grabbed a flashlight and found a creepy old doll, a rusted tin bowl filled with plastic eyeballs, and a small trinket box that rattled when he shook it, but wouldn't open. There were other odd objects too, things he couldn't even explain, all just sitting there, untouched. But everything changed one night at exactly 3:45 a.m. when the knocking returned, louder than ever. Then, a man's voice whispered, "It's almost time." Kyle grabbed his camera and stepped out to check. This is what he caught.
Gosh dang it, kitty. Man, I guess we're getting no sleep tonight, y'all. I got woken up a little while ago. As you can see, there was knocking sounds. I heard a voice. What woke me up was, I swear I heard something say, "It's almost time. It's almost time." It was a man's voice. And then I started hearing knocking. So I got up, started going around through the house, turned on the lights on, and you heard some of it. It just keeps happening. It keeps happening. It keeps happening. I swear. What? I guess I'm just gonna be staying up now. Let's see what time it is. 3:45 a.m. All right. I guess we're just gonna be up for the day now.
What really caught people off guard in this footage was the cats. They were calm, completely unfazed, and that confused a lot of people because cats are known to be highly sensitive to spiritual energy. But here's a possibility. In rare cases, experts say that when a spirit is old, like very old, its energy can become almost residual, like part of the house itself. Some also believe cats are spiritual protectors and are able to detect negative energy, but not always disturbed by it unless it poses a threat. The video was sent to the ghost hunter and is pending review. We can only hope that Kyle receives the help he deserves. This next clip was recorded by a woman named Claire, who recently bought an old barn on the edge of town. It seemed like a dream come true, quiet, private, and perfect for her horses, but every time she went there, it always felt like she wasn't alone. One night, she decided to bring her camera with her, just in case, and this is what she caught. If you listen closely, just before the video ends, there's a whisper, soft and quick, but she swears she was completely alone. And that's not the only strange part. She pointed out that her horse is usually calm and friendly, but this night he was suddenly antsy, stomping, breathing hard, and refusing to go near the far end of the barn. It's often said that animals, especially horses, are incredibly sensitive to spiritual energy, and when they act like that for no visible reason, it means they're sensing something you can't. Claire has now contacted a local investigator, and they're digging into the history of the barn. Not many people would go ahead and live in a house that's surrounded by haunting rumors, so we have to give Lila some credit, because despite everything she'd heard, she moved into her parents' old apartment, fully aware of the stories. According to locals, a man named Ray took his own life in that house back in 1969, and ever since then, people who live nearby have always said there was something off about that place. Every night since she moved in, a shadowy figure of a man stands at her bedroom door. Doors creak open on their own, despite the house being locked tight, and Lila says she sometimes hears dragging footsteps in the hallway, like someone pacing restlessly, waiting, and she wakes up with the distinct scent of men's vintage cologne lingering in her room, even though no one had visited. One night after coming home from work, this happened.
Ray? Hello?
What makes this clip even more disturbing is that the lamp she captured wasn't even plugged into any power source, and with her dog barking at the exact same hour each night, always in the direction of the hallway where the shadow stands, Lila's convinced Ray's ghost is still in the house. She's already contacted a medium to help her figure out what he wants. We hope she gets answers before the visits become something more. Tom recently took a trip to St. Augustine, a city with a long, haunted history, and while he was there, he decided to sign up for one of those ghost investigation tours. But here's the thing, he ended up being the only person on the tour besides the guide. The guide took him to an old building that had once served as a colonial jail, and in one of the rooms where they stopped to rest, this happened. You can clearly see the flashlight turned on by itself, then slowly rolled off the table like someone invisible gave it a little nudge. That night, Tom barely slept, because no matter where he placed that flashlight, in his bag, in the drawer, even on a windowsill, it always ended up back on the floor. But that wasn't even the worst part. He says the whispers he heard got louder the closer it got to 3 a.m. And there was this constant, rhythmic tapping, like fingernails scratching lightly along the metal bed frame, that didn't stop until sunrise. To make it even creepier, his phone's voice recorder, which he hadn't touched, activated on its own, and when he checked the file, there were no voices, just whispers in a language he couldn't recognize, like chanting. With everything he experienced that night, Tom is convinced there was a ghost, maybe several in that room, and after what happened, he's not sure he'll ever do a solo ghost tour again. The following clips were recorded by Abby's family who, instead of a Merry Christmas, got a terrifying one. They were decorating the attic for storage when they found an old, dusty photo album filled with black and white portraits of people no one in the family recognized, and most of the faces had their eyes scratched out. A few days after Christmas, Abby was alone in the living room when she decided to set up her camera, and this is what she caught. If you listen closely, you'll hear a faint whisper, then the chair starts moving on its own. The family's aware they're not alone in the house, and while skeptics online were quick to say it looked staged, Abby decided to respond directly.
So I got a lot of replies like this one, and I just chose one to reply to. I'm not trying to pick on anybody. I'm not trying to fight with anybody. If someone doesn't think this is real or that there is a ghost or whatever, that is fine. Not everyone believes in ghosts. In fact, I didn't believe in ghosts before this happened to me, or not everyone is going to believe everything that someone posts on the internet, and that's fine. I don't have enough time to argue with people. My husband did not just get out of that chair. He was actually coming from the back of the house where he was putting away laundry and was walking through that hallway. I didn't make that as clear like in the first video when I said he was putting laundry away. I meant to say like he was back there. He was not in that living room with me, sitting in that chair. I know a lot of people, for good reason, are worried about me still being in this house and everything. I'm no longer afraid of the ghost or spirit. We'll call her Gertie. I'm pretty sure I know who she is. I have seen her. I won't talk about that right this second because I don't want this video to be like super long. I'm just trying to answer some quick questions, but I originally was afraid of her. I'm not now. I think that she's a good person and that she's just there to maybe like enjoy Christmas. She only shows up around Christmas time when Christmas decorations are out. So I think that she just really likes Christmas and like seeing my kids enjoy the holidays. She had a lot of kids, if it's who I think she was. Who I think she is there were 2 previous owners before we lived here, and one of them was, I think I replied to a comment where someone said that they thought it was a person in their mid to late 40s, a lady in their mid to late 40s, and I said, oh my gosh, that's the same age as the lady that passed when she lived here. I was wrong about that. She was actually 56 when she passed, but close enough. And they had built this house, her and her husband, and she didn't really get a chance to live in it very long before she passed away. She passed away in the late 80s, so I have no idea. I have searched to see how she passed or anything about her, to see a picture or whatever, and I cannot find one. I have a friend who's a better internet sleuth than I am on it, so maybe we'll find out some more information. But yeah, that's who I think she is, and I do not think that she is harmful. If you have any other questions, specific questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments. It's very hard for me to make a bunch of content. I'm a stay-at-home mom to a toddler, and I have 2 older kids in school, so I'm constantly running them around. So when I have time, TikTok is just for fun for me. I will make videos and try to answer all your questions. But thanks so much for having some interest in my ghost stories. I know a lot of people like to hear this kind of thing, which is why I decided to throw it out here on TikTok.
Interestingly, a few viewers backed up her story, claiming they'd heard about the history of the house and its former owners. While it might seem odd to some that her family is staying put and getting used to the paranormal activity, others can't help but ask, what happens when the ghost gets angry? Well, we wish them luck. The following video is about a content creator named Carla Agnini, a woman known for sharing her journey through midlife adventures, cozy home moments, and the joys of an empty nest. But one quiet morning, while filming a simple video to show how peaceful her house can be, this happens. Watch.
If you are an empty nester, what does your house sound like regularly throughout the day? Because this is the sound of mine. It seriously drives my husband crazy that it is so quiet. And whenever he's home, he's... What in the world is that? Where did that music come from? I'm like way over here by the dishwasher. And this music just starts randomly playing. What in the heck? I don't even know what that is. It's like somebody was playing a joke on me because I said my house is so quiet. What? And what was that song? Now I think my house is haunted. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go with that.
Carla later confirms that the song was coming from her iPad, not Alexa. And the creepy part is, absolutely nothing was open to play music. No tabs, no apps, nothing. Even stranger, she had never heard that song before in her life, and she was alone in the house when it happened. Carla now believes her home might be haunted and that her empty nest just got a lot less empty. And honestly, she might not be wrong. When she posted the video, many viewers pointed out that spirits, especially those tied to the home, try to reach out using frequencies through electronics, manipulating sound, static, and in rare cases, even music. After reading through dozens of concerned comments, Carla decided to contact a local ghost hunter and has already set a date for a full spiritual sweep of her house. This next clip was recorded by Sharon, who has been experiencing very strange things in her home for weeks now, but either the activity happens too fast to capture or she's too scared to even remember to grab her phone. One night, she managed to capture this.
Oh
my God, there's nothing there. There's nothing.
Now here's the thing, Sharon lives in a one-story rancher. There's no upstairs or an attic space above that area of the house. So what or who was causing that strange noise? And this is where it gets even more disturbing. Sharon has experienced the same strange activity in every house she's lived in since her daughter was born. No matter where they move, it follows, and it's become so common that they've developed a routine. When it starts, they either leave the room or go outside for a walk until it stops. In the video she posted, Sharon included some unsettling details like how the dog starts growling and pacing seconds before the activity begins, how the temperature in the room suddenly drops even in the middle of summer, and how her and her daughter's mood changes sharply, as if something takes over. One minute they're calm, and the next, they're angry, sad, or overwhelmed for no reason. But the scariest detail she gave is that every time it starts, she and her daughter feel their hair stand on end, like a shiver that doesn't go away. Given the consistency of the experience across multiple homes, many viewers believe the entity isn't haunting a location. It's attached to Sharon, or possibly to her daughter, or even an object they unknowingly bring with them from house to house. But I'll let you be the judge on that. What exactly do you think is going on here? Let me know your thoughts on this one. This next clip is about another terrifying night Kyle had in his apartment, following weeks of sharing videos that prove he's barely had a peaceful night's sleep. He has been experiencing unsettling banging sounds, objects moving without reason, and perhaps the creepiest of all, the sound of children laughing, even though Kyle lives alone and has no kids. Naturally, viewers grew concerned until someone pointed out something Kyle had casually shown in one of his earlier clips, a doll he keeps in the house. One he's named Shelly. One night, while Kyle was finally asleep, he started hearing children laughing, and when he woke up, this was what he saw.
The light has gone off 3 times. There it goes again. Goodness. What the hell? That's the light switch right there. I mean, there's another one there too. Okay. I didn't touch that. I did not touch that light switch. There's nobody there.
If you look at the light switch to the right, it's clear no one is near it, but then, right in front of him, the light suddenly goes off. Moments later, Kyle stands to show that the space is empty, and just as he does, the light in the kitchen begins to flicker. He later uploaded the video, and there was one thing nearly everyone pointed out, something Kyle hadn't even noticed at first. There were orbs floating through the shot, and many believe orbs are spiritual energy, a sign that something, or someone, is present. After that night, things got worse, and viewers began to warn him that whatever or whoever was behind the haunting seemed to be feeding off his fear. So Kyle decided to fight back and filmed himself doing a challenge where he was standing alone in the dark for 60 seconds, facing the fear head on. Watch what happened.
Can I withstand 60 seconds in the dark of my basement? I thought it'd be a good idea to try to overcome my fears since I live in a haunted house, so we're gonna try this. Let's get going. There's one. There we go. 60 seconds. How long is 60 seconds? Oh, this is already a bad idea. I don't like this. I don't like this at all, yo. What was that? Yo, no. No, we don't need to hear noises while we're down here. Fuck. Is it over? Is it over yet? Dang, we got like 20 seconds? 20 seconds. Okay, I can do it. Oh, what was that? I heard something. Yo, okay. Has it been 20? I don't know. The light switch won't work. Oh, shit. Okay.
What Kyle still can't wrap his head around is the fact that when he reached for the light switch to end the challenge, it didn't work. But when he checked it the next morning, everything worked perfectly, with no faults, no wiring issues, and not even a loose bulb. At this point, Kyle can't help but think there's a ghost in his house. In this next video, a man named Nick has been quietly taking care of his grandmother, who suffers from Alzheimer's. Her condition often makes her restless, wandering around the house, staring into empty corners, or talking to people who aren't there. But one night, what Nick captured was different. Take a look. His grandmother was standing still, as usual, but this time her dog began to growl and something else happened that not even Nick can explain, and viewers didn't miss it either. If you look closely, you'll notice the Roomba moving back and forth, almost like it's detecting someone standing in front of it. And just moments after that, something falls. But what really makes this moment unsettling is what fell. Watch this.
Alright, so this is in response to last night. My grandma loves to collect little figurines. One of my grandma's little angels fell off the fridge last night. You see how far back they are? Genuinely. I mean, the significance of an angel falling and not legitimately anything else she has.
Out of all the things placed on top of the fridge, it was a mini angel statue that fell. And what's odd is that the statue had been sitting far back, not near the edge. So how exactly did it tip over? According to Nick, nothing, and no one was near the Roomba at the time, so it's possible that it was reacting to something he couldn't see. Ever since that night, Nick hasn't felt the same about the kitchen, but the problem is his grandmother only has one working television in the house, and it's close to the kitchen. So every night, he has to sit there to watch his program. One night, while watching TV alone in the living room, Nick's camera caught this. Watch closely.
So, I was watching my show, and after last night, I'm definitely not leaving these lights on. But I was watching my show, and there's nothing there.
Not one, but both of his grandmother's dogs are caught on video standing alert and staring at the kitchen, completely still with their ears perked up. Now here's something to consider. Nick told viewers that his grandfather mentioned seeing his grandma standing in the dark kitchen late one night, but when he got up to check, no one was there. It's for reasons like that and moments like these that Nick is starting to feel seriously uneasy, but the night was far from over. A few moments later, Nick heard the sound of the ice maker going off, so he grabbed his phone and started filming again. This is what he caught.
Whoa. Whoa. Yo. Oh, that's cool. Jesus!
After Nick posted the video, viewers immediately picked up on a few details like the Roomba's behavior had been off all evening, moving in a straight, unnatural line, unlike how it usually detects and avoids walls or stairs. But more disturbing was the way it suddenly flipped even when there was nothing in its way. No object, no stairs, yet it spins and lands hard on its side, almost like something had forcefully knocked it over. It didn't also react to the stair's edge, something it's programmed to sense and avoid. And then there was the angel statue that didn't fall randomly. It fell as if something wanted it out of sight. To this day, Nick can't explain any of it, and it remains unknown as to what caused all these strange things, but whatever happened that night still haunts him. Now, this next video is about Tana, a mom and nurse practitioner who often shares heartfelt snippets of her daily life, but one particular video she shared recently had nothing to do with cozy mornings or toddler giggles. It was something much more unsettling. Have a look.
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
No.
Who are you talking to? Evelyn. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
You can see her 20-month-old daughter smiling, giggling, and reaching out like someone was right there in the room with her. The joy on her face suggests she was genuinely seeing someone, and many viewers were quick to say, maybe she was. Some believe she might have been seeing a loved one who passed, possibly an uncle watching over her, but others couldn't shake a different, more disturbing idea that whatever she was seeing wasn't her uncle at all, but something pretending to be. Something that took on a familiar shape, just to be welcomed. It's a theory that's shown up before in stories like these, that children are more open to what we can't see, and sometimes that openness can attract something else. Still, no one can say for sure. Was this a sweet moment between a child and a spirit watching over her, or something more deceptive and dangerous? You decide. The following video is about a lady called Melissa who has been hearing voices for months now, voices so soft it's easy to miss, like someone murmuring just behind her shoulder. But every time she turns, no one's there, and she even went to the extent of asking people nearby if they said anything to her, but the answer was always no. She eventually ignored it, brushing it off as stress or imagination, but that all changed after what happened the evening she returned from visiting a distant relative. She got home, stepped out of her car, and heard something.
Hello. Oh, yes, of course, you said that. Huh? Oh. Oh, God. Oh.
Before you assume it was the doorbell, keep in mind she doesn't have one. Also, she came home alone, and the only other living thing in that house was her golden fish. The sound came out of nowhere, and after this latest incident, she finally allowed herself to believe what she had been trying so hard to ignore. Something was following her. She uploaded the footage online, and not long after, reached out to a local ghost hunter who immediately scheduled her for a full spiritual consultation. Melissa is now sleeping with salt by the door and mirrors covered, a classic protection method advised by her spiritual experts till they find a more permanent solution. If you've ever lost someone close, you'll know this feeling. That quiet sense they're still nearby, watching, maybe even trying to reach out. It's something a lot of us carry. And for Mrs. Collins, that feeling turned into something much more real. She lost her husband just a few months ago, and while grief is always hard, it is what started happening around the house that made things even harder to process. And the moment it began happening around her daughter, she knew she had to do something, so she started recording these moments. Here's what she caught.
Robert. You said, come on. Well, come on, Daddy. I ain't scared. Show me where he at. What's up there? Girl. What you, what? What? Girl. She just be doing it. I don't. What's up there, baby? So Daddy followed us to grandma's house. I just turned the camera on, and then, because I see her when she started pointing, she'll point up to the sky. Mama, where? There's nobody over there right here. Yeah, Dada.
After posting it online, people flooded the comments, but one particular viewer warned her to be careful, that sometimes evil spirits disguise themselves as loved ones. The idea got her attention, so she responded,
So this comment right here caught my eye. You don't mean to be insensitive. That's cool. I'm not taking everything to heart. Just don't lie like the person you commented under. He lied. I don't like that. I can have like a conversation about stuff. But you said that when someone passed, they can't speak with the living. I really don't think he's trying to talk to her. I think he's just showing up. And as weird as it sounds, I do believe she sees something. She's one. I don't feel like she's making up anything. She doesn't know how to make up stuff. I don't know how to tell the people who don't believe, but I truly believe that that's my husband. For people that's calling him a demon, so the demon looks just like my husband is what y'all saying. He don't look scary at all to her. So he just disguises himself as exactly as my husband looks. Because my baby knows her daddy. Also, are there no angelic spirits? It seems like people keep talking about evil spirits. Are there no sweet spirits? Are there no angelic spirits? And also, were these evil spirits not once living? I need somebody to answer that question, especially. I need that question answered because I'm not well versed on a lot of things, so I'm gonna ask questions so I can get more understanding. And I just know I have opened up the comment section to thousands of comments, millions of views, possibly. So I don't mind listening to people with different opinions, different beliefs. It just has to make sense, and it just can't be somebody telling me somebody taught my daughter that. Nobody taught my daughter that.
Mrs. Collins didn't agree with the idea that it was anything dark. To her, what was happening felt comforting, not threatening. But even then, many viewers remained skeptical. Some viewers supported her, while others insisted the energy might not be as friendly as she thinks. Still, she continued to share clips of her daughter talking to her father.
Dada. Mama, Dada. Where? There's nobody over there right here. What I'm looking at? No.
This new clip got a different reaction, and even some viewers pointed out that the car alarm that randomly went off in the background was a spiritual sign. According to them, angels are known to trigger alarms and flicker lights, but demons can do that too, right? And then there were those who didn't believe it was paranormal at all and suggested the child had simply been told what to say or was just repeating words she had heard and not interacting with anything unseen. Watch what she had to say about this.
So this comment doesn't really sit well with me, and a couple others as well, but this comment says she doesn't see anyone at all. When he passed, someone has been pointing at the sky saying her dad's in heaven. She was taught this. Kids see, hear, and repeat. My baby's 1. So no, nobody has told her your daddy's dead, he's in heaven. Look, your daddy's there. We wouldn't do that. She's 1. It's not like she knows he's dead. It's not like she's asking, where's my daddy? She's 1. Nobody's teaching her anything like that. And for her to be 1, she is smart. She is going to see things, hear things, repeat things, but what you talking about? That's just not the case here. Just say you don't believe that she's seeing him, but don't make up stuff. It's not necessary to make up stuff. Because as far as I know, my baby doesn't know that her dad is dead.
She later told her viewers why she remains confident that her daughter sees her father and not a demon. One night, while folding laundry, she saw her daughter standing in the doorway speaking softly again, so she asked who she was talking to, and her daughter simply said, "Daddy says you shouldn't be sad." Mrs. Collins bursted into tears and later saw something like a shadow slowly rising from the corner of the room and disappearing behind her daughter. Sadly, the moment caught her off guard and she couldn't record it, but she's certain her husband is constantly watching over her and their daughter. Personally, I think the child sees something, we just don't know what, but in the end, that's not for me to decide. So what do you think? Is this a visit from a loved one or a demon pretending to be her father? This next clip was recorded by a woman named Melinda, who had recently moved out of her former home, a place she believed was haunted, to start afresh in a new place. But the moment she settled into her new space with her children, strange things began to happen, and this time they were even harder to ignore. What you're about to see was the final confirmation that whatever haunted her before had followed her.
Come over here. Shit. Oh, what happened?
Dude, run. There's a guy inside.
Okay. Run.
Hey, where's your sister?
She's in her room sleeping.
She's inside?
Yeah.
Dude, look. There's a shadow right there.
What the heck?
Told you there's somebody in here.
Amber, wait, come here. No.
What's that?
The door just closed over there.
Amber. Baby, come here. Are you in here?
Oh,
dude. I pulled the door back.
Oh my god.
What is that?
No.
Someone's at the front door. What do I do?
Let's go to the front door, Milos.
Nobody's there. No one's at the front door.
Who rang the doorbell then?
It's knocking, but there's nobody there. Dude.
There's no one there.
Should I open it?
No.
The noise is coming back. It's getting louder and louder.
Oh my. Now it's the doorbell again?
What is going on here?
Shadows moving across the hallway like someone was walking through the house, doors slamming on their own, something pulling back just as she reached to open it, lights suddenly going out, doorbell ringing and knocking sounds, all with no one in sight. Now, if it had just been one weird incident, you might be able to brush it off and call it a coincidence, but the timing and the sheer number of strange occurrences all point to one thing. There's a ghost in that house. Just days before this video was taken, her daughter woke up with scratches on her arm, 3 long marks, spaced evenly. Paranormal investigators often note that scratches in 3s can symbolize mockery of the Holy Trinity. That same night, Melinda's hallway light was turning on and off repeatedly, then the smoke detector beeped once before falling completely silent, and nothing in the house was on fire. After this last strange activity that she recorded, Melinda was sure she was dealing with something demonic, so she contacted a local ghost hunter and they now have a date locked in for a full cleansing. It won't erase what happened, but maybe, just maybe, it'll finally bring her peace, and hopefully this time the spirit stays gone. The following clip was captured by a woman named Clarissa who was returning home one evening with her children after dinner. As she pulled into the driveway and parked the car, something immediately caught her eye. The bedroom light was on. No one was supposed to be home, and she was certain she didn't leave the light on. She asked her kids to stay in the car while she went inside to check, but just as she stepped out, this happened.
So, me and my kid just got back from eating dinner, and my bedroom light is on, which is strange because I don't remember leaving it on.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure I didn't leave it on. Come on. Listen, I'm gonna walk inside real fast. I want you to wait out here for me. Yeah, I want you. Oh my God. Somebody broke into our. Yeah. I don't know.
Let's go.
Oh. Jaden, yeah, it is. Go next door. Go next door and get your icy, okay? If you hear me scream, y'all hear me scream, call 911. Okay?
For most of us, the light suddenly going off with the image we saw reflecting on the glass would have been enough to turn the car back on and run, but she told her children to go next door and call 911 while she walked into the house. The house was completely torn apart with no one inside. If that's not proof of a ghost, I can't wrap my head around any other reason. What she didn't post online was what she found upstairs. The closet door was wide open, and one of her shoes was placed perfectly in the center of the bed, with the rest of the room untouched. That detail alone gave her chills, and she hasn't entered that room since. She showed the footage to her friends and family, and they believed her, clearly because Clarissa had never been one to exaggerate. Her family members, who were concerned about her safety, contacted a local ghost hunter, and they are in the process of getting rid of the spirit. When you've lived with unexplained things long enough, there comes a point where fear turns into frustration. And for Michael and his teenage son, that point came one evening after months of strange activity in their home. There had been odd noises, cold spots, flickering lights, but it was the basement that always felt different, like something was waiting down there. One evening, they made a decision to go down there themselves and face whatever was hiding in the dark. Michael slipped a pouch of blessed salt and a small crucifix into his pocket, items commonly used for spiritual protection, and together, they locked the basement door behind them.
I'm gonna lock us in. Shit. Okay. Hold on. Take your time. Did you hear that? It's down here. We got it. You smell that?
Oh, it smells like shit, bro.
Okay, we're gonna go. You go this way too. Stay close to me. Fuck. Dude, stop, stay by me. It was glass. Don't move. Where'd you fall? I know. God, you smell that. Did you fart?
It's so cold down here, too.
It's winter time. Connor, stop. What the fuck? Alright. We're gonna make a run for it.
If it traps us, you're dying first.
It's gonna just go. Shit. Hold on. Oh, shit, good. Oh, God. What? No. We gotta get the here. We gotta get out of it. What are we gonna do? No, stop, man.
You locked us in.
I gotta go. No. We make a break. There's nothing there. Stay by me. Stay right behind me. This is a bad idea. This
Oh shit, it's still there, it's still there, it's still there! What the fuck are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You got your phone?
No, I don't.
The noise down there was strange and deep, like growls, but what really stood out was the smell. At first it seemed like something rotten, almost like a bad fart, but then it shifted, becoming thick, sharp, and sulfuric. If there's one thing we know, it's that paranormal investigators often say that the smell of sulfur is a sign of demonic presence, easily mistaken at first, but unmistakable once it hits. But maybe, just maybe, the strange noise and smell could be dismissed. What they saw standing still in the corner of the room is proof that whatever happened in that basement wasn't imaginary. It wasn't even residual energy. It was real and it was demonic. The following video was captured by a woman named Sanaya, whose daughter had been having full conversations with someone no one else could see. Her little girl would sit perfectly still on the edge of her bed with her eyes locked on the closet and calmly whispering like someone was giving her instructions. Some days she would laugh softly. Other days, she'd frown like she was being scolded. And then, one Saturday afternoon, after waking up from her nap, her daughter stepped out of the bedroom and said, "There's a person in my closet, and he won't stop smiling at me." Sanaya picked up her phone and followed her into the room, and that's when she captured this.
My daughter has informed me that there is a person in her closet that keeps smiling at her. Let's go see.
Open it. That's a person.
There's a person?
Yeah.
Can you show me where the person is?
Right here.
Is it Elsa?
No.
No?
I'm scared.
You're scared?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you show me where the person is? Is it a kid person or a grown-up person?
Grown-up person.
It's a grown-up person?
I want your Elmo.
You want to wear your Elmo costume?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a grown-up person in your closet?
Yeah.
And it's right there?
Yeah. It's my closet.
It's your closet. Say, go away, person.
I'm scared.
You're scared?
Yeah. I'm a person.
Okay, well, we'll get rid of the person.
This time, her daughter wasn't giggling or smiling. She was terrified. And when a child who's been calmly engaging with a spirit suddenly grows fearful, it usually means one thing. The entity is showing its true nature. According to the spiritualist she contacted, this could be the spirit of someone who passed away in or near the home. But if it's mimicking, changing moods, or drawing a child closer before turning dangerous, it's likely a demon pretending to be harmless, just to gain access. A date has been set to cleanse the entire house, and we wish her luck in getting rid of the spirit. This next clip was recorded by a man named Jay, who had always lived a quiet and uneventful life, until one unexpected visit changed everything. A few months ago, someone came to his home. Jay didn't think much of it at the time, as it was only a brief, strange conversation at the door with a man he didn't recognize. But ever since that encounter, he has been waking up with long scratches across his back that are too deep to come from bed sheets, and too clean to be accidental. And once, when he opened his freezer, all the food was melted, except for a single raw steak, still perfectly frozen and placed right in the center. One evening, while returning from the gym, he finally caught something on camera.
Guys, I can hear like some weird sound in my house. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. So scary. I can't, oh my god. The hell? It's like nothing in here, this is an empty room. Guys, this is so scary.
You can tell it's angry and aggressive, and when a spirit becomes hostile, it's usually for one of two reasons. Either it's been disturbed, or it was never human to begin with. I don't know exactly what that strange visitor brought into his life, but whatever it is, it's dangerous. Jay contacted a local spiritual advisor, but as we've seen before, getting rid of powerful entities like this is never easy. We hope Jay finds the help he needs. When moving into a new house, most people check the plumbing, the walls, maybe the appliances, but not everyone asks why the last owner really left. And sometimes that missing detail could be the difference between peace and nightmare. The very first day Mateo and his family moved in, not a single night has gone by without something disturbing happening. Objects moving on their own, and a rotten stench that creeps in at exactly 1:30 a.m. every night and stays for about 20 minutes, then disappears just as fast as it came. One night, it happened again. Same time, same smell, but with strange noises coming from the kitchen, so they all got up to investigate.
No manches. La casa está embrujada. Vete para allá conmigo. ¡Ey! No, no hagan eso. No, pero se estaban abriendo ahorita bien feos, ahorita está bien leve. No manches, no se lo digas. ¿Quieres que no? Ay, no, tío. Se están abriendo solos. No manches. Ay, no. Ay, no, me da miedo. ¿Ya cerraste el otro? Ya cerré los dos. ¿Qué haces? ¿Qué haces? Córrele, que aquí espantan. Échale las cosas. Es todo por irte el Día de Muertos a celebrar. Trajiste algo, tío.
No, ¿porque qué dijiste?
Por ir a tus... ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Cómo? ¿A dónde fue? Mira, mira otra vez. No manches, ya. Que no le caes. ¿Qué se espanta, no, güey?
¿Qué?
No voy a
¿No te asusta?
¿Se selló? No, manches, no. Hay que traer a un padrecito. O algo. Abuelita, ya me dio miedo, en serio, ya lo estoy cotorreando.
Mira.
Mi risa es de nervio.
Me puse la bien chinita.
No, digas, no, vámonos ya, no, abuelita. Yo me voy con mi tío Diego, ahorita vengo.
Even the dog couldn't stay, and that's never a good sign. You see, when a dog runs, it means something stronger is present, and the dog's instinct tells it to run. They'd sprayed pesticides, thinking maybe it was rats, but they've never found a single dead rodent. And with everything else happening, the lights flickering, the sound of footsteps upstairs when no one was home, they realized this wasn't an infestation. They were living with a ghost. Now they had to do what they should have done before moving in. They asked around and found out the original owner of the house died inside it, and every family that moved in after never stayed up to 4 months. But you see, Mateo's family didn't want to run. Instead, they did something not many would do. They contacted a medium, hoping maybe they could find out what the spirit wants and if there's a way to coexist. Of course, a lot of you think that's a dangerous move because it might be a trap. Let's hope this family knows exactly what they're doing. This next clip was recorded by a successful businesswoman named Tasha, who had her life all figured out. Steady job, beautiful home, and a routine that never skipped a beat, until her house started falling apart in a way no contractor could fix. Sometimes it's the mug she kept in the sink she'll suddenly find on the floor the next day, or books falling from the shelves one by one as if someone were browsing. But then it got worse. Things were no longer just falling, they started moving on their own. Take a look at something she caught on camera.
See, and you think I'm crazy. The first time I'm here by myself, there's a picture on the floor, and it just...
What you just watched wasn't a gust of wind or faulty hinges, and especially because the door slammed shut with timing too precise to be random, and based on how targeted the activity has been waiting for her to come home, reacting when she's alone. This is definitely a spirit trying to get her attention. Tasha didn't wait to find out what it wanted, so she contacted her priest, and they've already picked a date for a full blessing and house cleansing. We wish her luck. Layla and her fiance have heard a lot of stories about haunted homes, but they never imagined they'd become part of the story themselves. One morning while they were relaxing near the kitchen, this happened.
Ghost, chill out, bruh. Knock something off the table.
Shut up!
Is that the only way you could talk to me? Turn on a light or something.
Yeah, are you a good ghost? Okay,
Yeah,
he's a good ghost.
He's a good ghost, so it's cool.
So he's a spirit?
Do you believe in friendly ghosts? Some people say not all spirits are angry, and some stick around to watch over the living, especially loved ones. But a large number of people believe these friendly behaviors are just deceptive moves some spirits use to wait until your guard is down, and then reveal their true nature. Right now, Layla and her fiance are comfortable with the idea of sharing their space with the ghost, and honestly, who are we to judge? The following clips were recorded by a man named Manuel, who had gone over to his sister's place to help babysit his niece and nephew. Now, before this, his sister had already been complaining that no babysitter she hired stayed more than a week or two, and most of them never gave a solid reason why they were leaving. So Manuel, thinking it was probably just a matter of difficult kids or bad attitudes, decided to help out for a few nights while she searched for someone new. That Tuesday evening, around 7 p.m., he was getting his niece ready for bed when she suddenly stopped, stared at the corner of the room, and pointed over and over again. When Manuel finally turned to look, this is what happened.
Yeah, she said something though. Like, it's crazy because, like, oh no, I'm just babysitting my niece and nephew. My nephew's right here. Then it's her, and then she keeps pointing at something. The fuck? What is that? Yeah, man. And then she grabbed this lantern right here. And I'm like, what the fuck?
The noise went on for over 30 minutes, so Manuel decided to confront whatever it was.
You gotta get out of here, man. You gotta leave, man. Honestly. You're not welcomed here. Leave. Whoever you are, leave. You're scaring my niece. Look, she keeps pointing at you. Get the out of here, man.
But did confronting it make things better? Not even close. His niece kept pointing toward the same dark hallway, clearly terrified, and her eyes following something no one else could see.
Who are you pointing at? Who is he? How come you keep pointing? Where's he at? Is he over there?
Will you read it to us, please?
Who is he? My niece keeps pointing at someone right here in this little hallway. I'm not really sure who it is, but yeah, she's like pointing upwards. They must be tall or something. Look, she's pointing again, look.
Whatever or whoever was in that house wanted to make sure Manuel knew this was its territory, like it had chased away all the other babysitters. He sent the footage to his sister, who immediately forwarded it to the last babysitter, asking if she experienced anything similar. Turns out she had. And what she shared was even worse. More than once, she'd heard the sound of someone breathing right behind her while holding the baby. But the day she knew it was time to quit was the day she woke up in the middle of the night to see the baby's crib shaking violently, even though the baby was fast asleep in her arms. While Manuel's sister was putting the pieces together, the activity in the house continued.
Then this door is wide open over here, man. Or just, I don't know. She's like looking over there like there's someone over there. She's freaking me out. Look, she's pointing. See? There's someone over there. I'm freaking out.
A few hours later, his sister rushed home. She wasn't taking chances, not after what she'd heard from the last babysitter. They forwarded the clips to paranormal experts who confirmed this wasn't just a wandering spirit. Based on the strength and persistence of the activity, only a demon could cause such powerful disturbances. Just like what happened in the previous clip, Angel's baby has been seeing things for over 2 weeks now, and every time Angel looks in the same direction her baby is staring, there's nothing there. Angel first thought maybe it was just a phase until the TV would switch on by itself at midnight, playing static at full volume. Her baby monitor would start picking up whispers, but only when Angel left the room. Then one evening during dinner, her baby suddenly stopped eating, turned toward the corner of the room, and started pointing again. This time, Angel picked up her phone to record it.
What is it?
The child wouldn't stop pointing, like she was seeing someone standing there. With all these events stacked together, objects moving on their own, the whispering, the energy shift in the house, her daughter's consistent reactions, and the specific patterns it's followed, there's no doubt they're living with a ghost. In the following video, Kelsey shares a strange experience that took place just days after a heartbreaking loss, and she even shares what she thinks might be behind it. Now, just for context, Kelsey's grandfather was a huge believer in ghosts and spirits, and he always told her that if he ever made it to the other side, he'd find a way to prove he's still around. Sadly, he passed away on November 12th, 2023, and 2 days later, Kelsey woke up to this.
See? What the? What the?
Nobody's down here.
For some reason, the lights downstairs were flashing, and at first she assumed one of her kids had gotten out of bed and was messing around. But here's where it gets strange. As she reaches halfway down the stairs, the lights suddenly turn off and stay off. But with nothing unusual in sight, she goes back to bed. A few moments later, it happens again, only this time she wakes her husband and they both go to check. And once again, right when they get halfway down the stairs, the lights turn off and stay off. Now, this is where things start to get pretty creepy. Ever since that night, it hasn't happened again, so now Kelsey is left wondering, is this just faulty wiring, a coincidence, a sign from her grandpa like he promised, or something else entirely? Some viewers believe it was a gentle message from her grandpa. Others aren't so sure, and some wonder if it wasn't her grandfather at all, but something else entirely. Like other videos, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions. Now, this next video comes from Kuma, a content creator who usually posts casual moments from his everyday life, time with friends, and life around the city. But viewers get completely thrown off when he shares something way creepier, an unsettling encounter inside his new home, which used to be a church before it was converted into a community space. Before we get into the footage, here's what you need to know. Kuma had barely been living in the house for 3 days when he started hearing unexplained screams and strange noises echoing through the building late at night. And according to him, the strange activity seemed to intensify right after he and his friends had a conversation about the paranormal events that happened at his old place. But it gets a whole lot stranger when his friends come over one evening and they actually catch something on camera. Have a look. This white balloon was gently drifting through the hallway like it had somewhere to be, but the moment they decide to follow it, and as they're talking about how bizarre it is, the balloon suddenly stops, then begins moving faster, this time chasing them instead. At this point, they panic and run.
like move away from it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was like,
No.
it is what in the say faster, motherfucker.
It continued to get quicker and more aggressive.
If it comes towards us, I'm grabbing shit. We're dipping.
But here's the strange part. Somehow, the balloon ends up exactly where they run to, and the way it moves, it's not random. It drifts with intent, slowing down, then speeding up, like it's choosing where to go next.
In here. Oh, hell no. Oh, shit. If it comes in towards up.
The noise you hear is a small electrical box that has the littlest airflow that has ever existed.
Dude, no.
Oh, it's being blown around.
Okay, wait, maybe it's done now.
Dude, you snapped over that way.
Why?
Why? Dude, no, because like my phone's actually like glitching out too.
Why the
Hold on.
Dude, we're gonna have to walk home.
Okay, that was
Oh,
that.
wait,
That
no.
was that. That was that.
Okay, we might have got it trapped. Is it cold?
Oh, there's barely even coming out of it.
Why is it going so fast then?
Move,
There's
move.
no air in that shit.
It eventually stops at the base of the stairs, almost like it's deciding what to do, maybe watching them split up and trying to figure out who to follow. But when one of the friends heads to the other side of the building to investigate further, he sees something else.
The second one snuck down the stairs and jolted upwards. We investigated, and there were no signs of force there anywhere at that time.
You can come back down here and join us. You probably just got pushed by some air.
I know it's probably frustrating to have been pushed around by all that air, but as you can see with the other balloon, it's not as windy over here in the middle by us.
It went almost the same route as the first balloon.
And guess what it's doing? Are you gonna come join us, or are you gonna go downstairs?
Apparently, there's two of them. After quietly monitoring it, the balloon drifts quietly into the gym and settles in a shadowy corner of the room where it stops moving completely. Now, looking back at the video, viewers point out that while it might seem funny at first, there's something really unsettling about the movement of these balloons, especially when you remember this building had years of untouched history. And who knows what may have taken place within those walls. Somehow, the whole thing feels like more than coincidence and remains a mystery. This next clip shows Luke having a quiet evening when he decides to check his CCTV footage just out of curiosity, but what he finds completely throws him off. Watch.
So I'm currently home alone, watching mine CTV. Mind you, my masks are right up there. What the f is this? So like I said, I'm watching this bullshit as if that's not freaky enough. At midnight, home alone. What's really creeping me out is the fact that there is a mask on my fridge. Here, let me zoom. That's not my mask. My mask is behind me. So I don't know who put that mask here. Bro, what the f? Where'd the f***ing mask go?
While Luke is still trying to explain, it suddenly disappears, almost like something removed it entirely. But this incident gets a whole lot stranger because after sharing the clip online, viewers start pointing out something Luke hadn't noticed before, and the reaction forces him to make a pretty big confession, along with a brand new wave of concern. Here's what he shared.
I didn't expect this video to blow up, but since y'all are asking, we live up in this hoe. We live. The masks are up there. But I'm going to shoot you guys straight. I did put a mask on top of the fridge. But what I can't seem to understand, and what I'm actually kind of fucking freaked out about, is the fact that there was a silhouette. See, I hate to be the bearer of bad news because I did put this mask over there. I'll admit it, I did. But what's freaking me out is you guys pointing out the fact that there's a silhouette. I don't know what's casting a shadow here or what's going on here, but like, I did have to turn on the lights after this because you guys started pointing this out. I turned on the lights and put on the office because what the fuck? Is Michael Myers up in my house? What the fuck just happened? That's some bullshit. Alright, so there's the fridge that I put the mask on top of. It was sitting right up there. There's the piece of paper, but I have no idea what could have casted the shadow or made the silhouette. I'm still confused by this. It's freaking me out. I don't know.
Some viewers believe something inside the house has taken form, that whatever presence may be there has chosen a face and is starting to make itself known. And with the growing number of strange things he's experiencing, he's starting to wonder if whatever this is might not stop here. Luke also admits that there have been odd things happening around the house for a while now, things he thought were nothing until this video started getting traction. Luke is still confused by it all, and honestly a little unsettled because somehow what people saw in this clip is worse than what he originally posted. Paranormal or not, something doesn't feel right here. In this next clip, Alea shares some strange activity that's been happening in their home, particularly in their bedroom. According to her, things have been visibly moving on the bed in ways that don't make any sense. One night, she sees this when she decides to check her security camera footage, and when she turns around and something even more unsettling was happening. Take a look. You can clearly see the cover shifting, like something is crawling under it. But there's no wind, no air vent, and Alea explains that the background noise is just white noise from her TV, which she was recording at the time. She also points out that the bed is flat on the floor, making it even more confusing. And what makes this even more unsettling is the timing. Alea had recently lost 2 significant people in her life, both within just 5 months of each other. So naturally, the idea that this could be connected isn't easy to ignore. But this is where things start to get pretty creepy. One comment in particular caught Alea's attention, someone warning that the activity might escalate. And they weren't wrong because not long after, this happens.
That's never done that.
That cabinet had never acted up before until the bed activity started, and from there, it's been one strange event after another. Nothing in the house feels normal anymore. Now, Alea and her husband aren't exactly scared because they've lived in a house with what they believe was demonic energy before, but this time, they're just trying to figure out what exactly they're dealing with. So, did Alea capture something paranormal, or is there another explanation for what's going on in their home? You decide. This next video comes from content creators who work off the coast of Maine and describe themselves as the lobster captains of the FV Frequent Flyer. While filming one of their usual drives, they pass an old, decaying house sitting alone in the woods, and what they capture on camera leaves them completely baffled. Watch.
So this house, the first time we passed it, Chase said the bottom part was not blinking. It was on, but it wasn't blinking. See how the different lights are at different intervals? The kitchen light being on. And then in the fire room over there's a light that's going off and on. No one lives here. I think that this house may be haunted. Chase is gonna go inside and check it out.
Fuck you, I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, this house is vacant right now. And it's more than one electrical circuit, so it can't be one malfunctioning.
For some reason, the lights inside the house are flickering, but here's the weird part. The creators confirmed that the owners live out of state and did not have power on. So, what exactly is going on in this house? A year later, they returned to check on the same property, and what they captured this time is even more unsettling. Take a look.
Who would pay for electricity? Whoa, something just changed. Did you just see that? Something most definitely just changed.
What changed?
One of the lights paused for a second. There's no cars. It's 10 o'clock at night. This is 1 year later. Now, we did meet the girl that grew up here. This was her childhood home. She absolutely 100% said it was haunted.
She actually made
a video. What is her screen name? Jenna
something, I can't remember.
She 100% confirmed that this house is haunted. I just can't imagine anybody keeping the fucking power on for the lights to blink.
Now, aside from the creators confirming their story with someone named Jenna, things take a strange turn in the comments section. Jenna's sister, Alyssa, leaves a message confirming the house is, in her words, haunted. She writes, "Jenna is my sister, and I am also going to confirm that this house is haunted." Another very strange thing the creators revealed was that the house had been abandoned for years, but the family never put it up for sale and simply just let it rot. But the strangest part of all, and maybe the most unsettling, happened the next morning when the creators returned for one last look. Here's what they captured.
So it looks like one light downstairs is blinking, but the upstairs light isn't. This is a house during the daytime. Timer maybe? I don't know. But as you can see, it's definitely grown up. Okay, let's get the hell out of here. Screw this place. So one light is on, blinking, but the upstairs and the downstairs second light that was blinking is not on.
Viewers got into overdrive and started picking out even more details, pointing to shapes, shadows, and faces that the creators hadn't noticed at all. And while the creators haven't posted any updates since then, these videos still circulate and continue to raise questions. Was something hiding in plain sight all along? Or is there a more rational explanation behind the flickering lights and shadowy figures? This one remains a mystery. The following video was captured by Sammy's mom on a weekend, hours after she had just finished decorating the house for the little family get-together they were hosting. Sammy wasn't back from a few errands she was sent when her mom called her on the phone saying some strange things were happening in the house. Sammy told her to record whatever it was, and this is what she sent.
Okay, I look over and I see this. Now it's slowing down. There's nobody around playing with the chords. And it's still moving. Ever so slightly.
The hallway lights were moving in a slow, deliberate rhythm, and there were no open windows, no vents, and nothing else in the room was moving. It was as if something had chosen the lights to make itself known, and this kind of isolated movement, especially electrical fixtures, can indicate the presence of an energy trying to manifest itself. By the next morning, Sammy was alone in the house, and it was her turn to experience what had now become a terrifying pattern.
So I'm here by myself, and I'm hearing like weird noises. That noise that you just heard is my dog down there. But I'm hearing like whispering and like things moving around about in that direction. I don't know. My dog's ears are up because I think he can hear it too. Okay, I have no clue what that was. Is that you making that noise? No? Okay. What? I have no clue what is going on.
It started with a soft voice, distant but steady. Then it sounded like someone was humming and whispering. The truth is, hearing voices is disturbing on its own, but when the family dog reacts and starts staring into corners with ears perked and tail down, it's never a good sign, and usually means one thing: something's really there. A few days later, it escalated.
So I decided to visit my best friend after work today, and I got here before they did. And there's literally, I walked in here and like something started knocking on the back door back there. You can hear it. Stop! Now, okay, so you might think it might be the neighbor or something, or like a dog or something at the door, but look. We're on the second floor. And there's like literally nobody. There's like nobody here. And I'm by myself. I thought we were done with this crap. Okay.
Their first experience was with light, then voices, and now knocks. In many cases, these knocks aren't just noises, but intentional communications, a way of letting you know you're not alone. At this point, people Sammy had shared the videos with urged her to sage the home, because spirits like this tend to feed off fear and attention, and the more you acknowledge them, the stronger they get, and they were right. A few nights later, she heard a sound like someone crying inside the small storage room, but when she got closer, it stopped, and she caught this on camera. After this strange activity, a new theory began to surface. A lot of people started voicing their opinions, saying maybe it wasn't just the house, but the spirit was attached to Sammy herself. She wasn't ready to believe it, but after visiting a friend's home to get a break from the chaos, something unsettling happened there too.
So, I just recorded a video in my bathroom about the situation that happened the other day about the shower curtain. And little disclaimer here before I show you that. This is the only light switch for this bathroom. Like, there's no light switch out here on the wall or over there. There's no other light switch. This is the only one for this bathroom. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay. Hey guys, back in the bathroom again. So as you saw in the video the other day, something happened with the shower curtain. So we're gonna have a look at it and see if there's anything in the shower. It's a fine day. So we looked in here last time and there wasn't.
This was a completely different location, and at this point, Sammy wasn't only thinking about cleansing her house, because if the spirit is really attached to her, she needs to find a solution to that as well. This was certainly a case of attachment haunting, when a spirit forms a connection to a person rather than a place. Most times, it starts with environmental activity, but when the person leaves and the entity follows, it becomes something much more serious. Before leaving her friend's place, Sammy sent her footage to a ghost hunter for a full review, and he confirmed that those comments might be more than just speculation. We can only hope she gets the help she needs before the spirit makes its next move. This next clip is about a single mother named Sydney who lived with her young son in a house that is over 100 years old. From the moment they moved in, Sydney sensed something wasn't quite right, and this wasn't just creaky floors or flickering lights. There were nights when she'd walk into her son's room and find dirt and soot scattered in perfect circles on the floor. Once, she even discovered a pair of muddy handprints on the ceiling above his bed. Handprints too small for an adult, but with 6 fingers. But the most unsettling thing was that, at least twice, she walked into her son's room and found every single toy positioned upright, all facing the same direction toward the hallway, as if waiting for something. After a few days, the activity stopped and things felt normal again, so Sydney went back to taking night shifts while her sister came over to babysit. One night, her sister and her son were curled up on the couch watching SpongeBob when this happened.
SpongeBob night.
SpongeBob off.
Liam, come here. Liam, right now. What is happening? Okay, I'm calling your mom. Just stay right here.
The empty rocking chair suddenly began to swing back and forth like someone was sitting there, enjoying the show. And you know the saying, you should never leave a rocking chair empty, because doing so is an invitation spirits rarely turn down. Sydney's sister contacted her immediately, and she told her sister to grab her son and head straight to a friend's house nearby. There was no way she was letting them spend the night alone in that place. The next day was a Friday, so Sydney decided to stay with her son, and this time she set up a camera in the living room. This is what she caught. In old houses that are already layered with so much time and energy, spirits don't just exist, they compete, so throwing things could be a warning, a tantrum, a demand for space, or worse, a sign they're becoming stronger. After reviewing the footage, Sydney contacted a professional ghost hunter who arrived the next day. And what he sensed wasn't just a single entity, not even two. There were 7 distinct spirits in that house. Some restless, some angry, and some, he said, didn't even know they were dead. Cleansing a house with that much activity won't be easy. In fact, experts say that in older buildings, spirits often resist being forced out. Some return, some retaliate, and some never leave at all. We wish her luck.